Imagine this: one day soon, parents may not just hope their child is born healthy, they might actually choose their child's height, eye color, intelligence, or even emotional stability. It sounds like a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But it's no longer fiction. It's happening right now. Scientists have learned how to go inside the human body's most sacred library, our DNA, and rewrite life's code. This ability is called gene editing, and it's one of the most powerful and controversial discoveries in human history. But what does it actually mean? How does it work? And why are so many experts warning that it could change not just our health, but who we are as a species? Let's understand this step by step. Inside every single cell of your body, in your blood, in your skin, even in your eyes, lies a tiny molecule called DNA. Think of DNA as a giant instruction manual written with just 4 letters, A, T, C, and G. These letters form words, and those words form sentences that decide everything about you: your hair color, how tall you are, your blood type, even your emotions and immunity. If one letter goes wrong in this giant book of life, it can cause a disease. For example, in sickle cell anemia, just one single letter in the DNA is misplaced, and that one change makes a person sick for life. So scientists began asking, what if we could go inside that book and correct the spelling mistakes? Could we cure diseases permanently? That question started one of the biggest revolutions in modern science. Back in 2012, 2 scientists, Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Charpentier, discovered a natural bacterial tool called CRISPR-Cas9. In simple terms, CRISPR works like a pair of molecular scissors. It can find the exact spot in a DNA strand where a disease-causing mutation sits, cut it, and allow the cell to repair it. This was a breakthrough. For the first time, humans had the power to edit life itself. We could, in theory, remove genetic diseases, grow stronger crops, and even design better immune systems. But science didn't stop there. The first generation of gene editing, CRISPR, was powerful, but it also had risks. Cutting DNA can sometimes cause unwanted side effects, new mutations, errors, changes in the wrong spot. So researchers started developing safer and smarter tools. And now, in 2025, we've entered what scientists call the search and replace era, the next level of precision editing. Let's break down the main tools that define this new generation. Imagine using a pencil instead of scissors. Base editing doesn't cut the DNA, it just changes one letter to another, safely and cleanly. It's like fixing a spelling mistake in a Word document without tearing the page. Companies like Beam Therapeutics are leading this technology. In 2025, their new therapy called Beam 302 showed the first successful correction of a genetic liver disease called alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, inside the body itself. With just one dose, a patient's damaged gene began producing the right protein again. This is real proof that base editing works, and safely. Next comes prime editing, invented by David Liu's team at Harvard and MIT. If base editing is a pencil, prime editing is a full word processor. It can search for a sentence in DNA, delete it, rewrite it, or even insert new text, all without cutting both strands. In early 2025, Prime Medicine used this technology to treat a patient with a rare immune disorder called chronic granulomatous disease. The scientists took bone marrow cells, corrected the faulty gene using prime editing, and reintroduced those cells safely into the body. That's not theory, it happened this year. It's proof that we can now reprogram living cells like updating software. Then comes something even bigger, gene writing, developed by Tessera Therapeutics. This isn't just fixing small errors, this tool can insert entire working genes into a person's DNA, restoring lost or broken functions. For example, if someone is missing a gene that makes a vital enzyme, gene writing could theoretically write that gene into their genome. Think of it as upgrading your system's hardware, permanently. We've never had power like this before. There's also something called epigenetic editing, used by companies like Chroma Medicine. This doesn't change the DNA letters, it just adds or removes tags that control which genes are active. It's like turning a light switch on or off. Epigenetic editing is being tested for anti-aging, cancer control, and mental health. It's subtle, and extremely powerful. Now that we can rewrite life, the world has entered a race, not for land or oil, but for genetic power. Let's see who's leading. The United States is the innovation capital. Companies like Beam, Verve, Prime, and Tessera are all American. The FDA has created fast-track programs like RMAT and accelerated approval so new gene therapies can reach patients quicker. In 2025, the US even approved the world's first CRISPR therapy called Casgevy for blood disorders. China, on the other hand, focuses on scale. It's investing billions into gene-edited crops and livestock, and quietly exploring biomedical applications too. While it faced backlash with the 2018 gene-edited babies scandal, it still pushes ahead aggressively in research and agriculture. Europe plays the cautious guardian. The European Medicines Agency takes more time to approve human therapies, but it leads in ethical standards. In 2025, the EU agreed to relax restrictions on gene-edited plants, showing it's adapting, but it still enforces strong moral boundaries on human use. So we have three approaches: the US, fast and commercial; China, vast and ambitious; Europe, careful and ethical. This is the genetic Cold War of our time. Let's make one thing clear: not all gene editing is the same. There are two very different types, and the second one is where the danger lies. Somatic gene editing is used on normal body cells, the ones that don't pass on to children. It helps living people by curing diseases like cancer, anemia, or heart problems. Once the patient dies, the change dies too. Germline editing, however, affects sperm, eggs, or embryos. That means the change becomes permanent, passed on to every generation that follows. Today, almost every country bans this kind of editing for humans. In 2025, major international organizations, like ISCT, ARM, and ASCT, announced a 10-year global moratorium on creating babies with edited genes. They warned, the science is not safe yet. The ethics are unclear. And once a mistake is made, it can never be undone. That's why germline editing is the real existential threat, because it doesn't just change people, it changes humanity itself. Now let's talk about what really divides the world, the moral question. On one side, scientists say, if we can erase suffering and disease, why shouldn't? But others warn, who decides where healing ends and enhancement begins? Because what starts as a cure could easily turn into design. Imagine the rich paying to make their children taller, smarter, faster, calmer, while the poor stay natural. This could create a new kind of inequality, a genetic divide between the enhanced and the unedited. Religious voices warn that we're stepping into territory meant only for creation itself. Once we start choosing our children's traits, we risk losing the humility that defines life. The question is no longer can we. It's should we. 2025 has been the year when gene editing truly became real, not just in labs, but in hospitals and boardrooms. Prime editing has healed a genetic disease in a human for the first time. Beam has corrected a liver disorder using base editing. Verve has advanced trials for heart disease, and was even acquired by Eli Lilly in a multi-billion-dollar deal. And David Liu, the man who invented these technologies, won the 2025 Breakthrough Prize in Life Sciences. This is the moment the dream became reality. And now, we must decide how to handle it. Think for a second. For thousands of years, life evolved naturally, guided by mystery, by chance, by nature, or by a higher intelligence. Now, humans have taken the pen from nature's hand. We are writing, and rewriting, the story of life ourselves. That's power beyond imagination. And danger beyond measure. We can cure, but we can also manipulate. We can fix disease, but also change destiny. The real question is not whether gene editing will continue. It will. The question is whether we, as a civilization, are mature enough to use it with wisdom. Every generation faces a defining moment. For our ancestors, it was fire. For our grandparents, it was the atomic bomb. For us, it's gene editing. Fire gave us warmth, and weapons. Nuclear energy gave us power, and fear. Gene editing gives us control over life itself. If we use it with compassion, it could end genetic suffering forever. If we use it without consciousness, it could divide humanity for good. So, the technology is not evil. The danger lies in how we use it. The future of life is being written in laboratories right now. The only question is, will we write a story of evolution or extinction? Subscribe, share, and join us again, as we explore the truth behind the technologies shaping our world. Stay aware. Stay curious. Stay human.